So you're ready to take control of your finances, right? Of course you are, and that's why we're all here. Stay tuned to learn how to start budgeting for beginners and the exact steps to track your expenses, income, and savings. Hi, I'm Carrie, a business owner and a digital nomad, and I've teamed up with Upside to share personal finance tips and easy ways to earn and save in our daily lives. And one of the most important steps of earning and saving smarter is budgeting, which is something that a lot of us haven't learned. I think my mom actually did try to teach me budgeting at one point. It didn't really stick until my sister taught me her method. She's a certified public accountant whose entire job is to advise people and businesses on their finances. So these tips are coming from a professional, and it's what's actually worked for me. So I'll cover the easiest cash-based systems and app methods. So any of these approaches are really a great place to start if you are a beginner. Okay, let's get right into it. The first and most important step when budgeting is knowing and understanding how much your fixed expenses are each month. These are things like food, rent, internet, and other utilities, student loans, mortgage payments, car payments, gas, insurance, medications, and phone bills. So to see what you have been spending, it's best to pull anywhere from a 3 to 6 month list of historical transactions because, some months might have outliers, like if you went on vacation. And if you put this information in here, it's really gonna misinform what you're actually spending on each month. One of the easiest ways to review your spending is to directly pull the transaction history from your bank account, your credit cards, and your monthly bills, and then add them up in a spreadsheet, or you can do it on your calculator. And by the way, I've added a link to this exact spreadsheet in the description below, so you can make a copy if you want and fill out your expenses and income by categories. If you don't use Google Sheets or Excel, you can make these charts in Apple Notes, or even easier, just use one of the apps I'm going to talk about in just a bit. So let's do an example budget with the spreadsheet I linked so you can understand the basics. Let's say you live in Phoenix, Arizona, you do not have children, and your work pays for your health insurance. The median rent for a studio apartment in Phoenix is $973 per month, but for the sake of easier math, let's just say $1,000 even. Average utility costs, including electricity, cable, internet, gas, and water, usually comes out to around $408 in Phoenix, but a lot of apartments do usually take on one of these. So for easy math, let's just say $300 per month for utilities. On average, Americans spend between $150 to $200 each month on gas, so let's go with $200 for easy math. Average grocery and food costs are around $280 per month, and income is just under $2,700 per month. Let's say that my biggest budgeting goal is to pay off the loan on my car. In this example, I have a 36-month repayment period of $450 per month, including interest. And with all of that added up after expenses, there's around $470 left for paying down the loan. And once you know your monthly expenses, you'll know how much income you need each month to cover all of it. If your income doesn't cover all of it, this means you're likely spending more than you're making, and y'all, this is a super easy way to get into debt, especially nowadays with credit cards. If your expenses are cutting it pretty close to your income, I'm gonna cover how to rank your expenses in the next section. By the way, I'm working on a video with my top 10 tips on how to earn and save more, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss future videos. I personally use an app to budget, and that way I don't have to manually record. Plus, I have a visual of consistent monthly expenses in the app, which makes it so much easier for me to process and understand. And don't worry, I'm gonna cover the apps in just a second. The next step is ranking and prioritizing your expenses. I first prioritize expenses that I'm contractually obligated to pay, like rent, mortgage, loans, and debt payments. If you don't prioritize those, you'll start racking up interest, spending even more, and potentially negatively impacting your credit score. Worst case scenario, you could have your assets repossessed or even have to file for bankruptcy down the line, and we do not want that. Think about it. You can tighten a budget around things like groceries while still getting nutritious meals, but you'll get yourself into trouble if you tighten your budget by not making your contractually obligated payments. For other regular expenses like gas, groceries, and restaurants, there are tools like the Upside app that make it super easy to earn extra cash back on your daily purchases. With Upside, you can earn up to 40% cash back on restaurants, up to 30% on groceries, and you can earn up to 25 cents per gallon on each tank of gas. They even have an intro offer where if you sign up with the code YouTube, you can get an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first gas fuel up. Learn more about how Upside works in this video. It's linked in the description. Keeping track of your monthly expenses can get tedious. Once a month, you'll need to go into the spreadsheet and add up and log your actual spend and income so you can actually see what happened that month. And again, monthly is minimum, best if you do it once a week. The budget doesn't work if you don't track and update, but there's another way to budget. Cash-based budgeting is one of the most tried and true and effective ways to set spending limits because it physically restricts how much you can spend on certain things. All you have to do is label envelopes every single month and put the exact amount of cash that you've budgeted to spend on the variable expenses like groceries, eating out, and gas. So you can have an envelope for each. Then you only spend the cash that you've set aside for that expense in cash. And even though it's old school, this method really empowers you to be super mindful about choosing your activities and how much you're spending. The downside of paper money, more and more merchants these days don't take cash, and using cash means you can't earn rewards or cash back like you would with a credit card. But when you're a novice budgeter, smart cash management can be a great first stepping stone to smart credit card use in the future. I'll cover my favorite credit cards for beginners and travelers soon, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Like I mentioned before, an easy way to calculate and manage your expenses is by using a budgeting app. Two of my favorite apps are Mint and YNAB, aka You Need a Budget. Apps are the only reason why I've stuck to budgeting because all of my transactions are imported and tracked. And these two budgeting apps that I mentioned will automatically log your expenses from your cards, your bank account, and as the months go on, you can see it in real time. So it's easier to keep track of your expenses and really take control of your money because you know how much you're actually spending. I love that it links my bank account, credit card, debit cards, and it cross-checks all of my expenses and updates it live. And in the app, you can also choose different money goals and set them as targets. So that way, these apps are actually helping me come up with a budget while helping me pay down my loan. And the apps also incorporate fun things like entertainment and also other future goals. Budgeting can be fun too, right? But at the end of the day, how do you stay on track and make sure you're continuing to do the things that you know are good for your financial future? Being actively involved in your own financial health is understandably scary, and it's kind of similar to how we manage conflict. If you get into an argument with your friend and pretend it never happened without actually resolving the issue, you're just pushing it under the rug and causing even more tension and anxiety over the long run. The anxiety of ignoring your finances is ultimately way harder than the anxiety of knowing and understanding them. I mean, we've all cringed when we look at our bank accounts and credit card bills, but it's so important that we acknowledge and take control of our money habits. Now, to prevent future anxiety, like this video if you're ready to take control of your finances. I'm posting an entire video about how to have a healthier relationship with money, so don't forget to subscribe. And one of the things that's really helped me with my money anxiety is setting aside time once a week to check my finances in my budgeting app. I find that doing the thing I'm dreading the most first takes a huge weight off my shoulders. Basically, I just use the worst thing first thing rule to face my finances once a week on Sundays and just get it over with. Every Sunday, I review my budget, and basically after I'm done in the mornings, I just feel so good and I've already done this big thing and I'm just ready for the week. So speaking of stress, one more thing that comes up when managing your budget is feeling like you're not making enough money. Yes, it's great to save where you can, but remember there are more ways to earn than to save. Abundance mindset. So focus on growing your income. I have an entire video on more ways to earn money coming soon. But what I can share now is that there are so many ways to earn on daily expenses and with minimal effort. And remember, Upside is that cashback app that I mentioned earlier, where it can help you hit your earnings goals by giving you cashback on everyday purchases. You can earn cashback on gas, restaurants, and groceries. All you have to do is claim the offer at the location, pay as you normally do, let Upside know you've paid, and then you will just get cashback in your Upside account that you can use for a PayPal, e-gift card, or just sent directly into your bank account. Download the free Upside app today to get an extra 25 cents per gallon in bonuses the next time you get gas. Just enter the promo code YouTube when you sign up. Plus, Upside has an amazing referral program where you get $20 for each friend that signs up and 1 cent per gallon for all of their future gas purchases. Literally, for life, and this really adds up. But that's all for today. Comment below with your questions and how your budgeting's going. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy earning.